good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, wherever you're watching from. Bloody hell, we got Tom Selleck on.
He's got a nose bag on as well. He's trying to sneak some food into the studio.
Well, I didn't realise that you'd have a shave as well, Kev. It's like it was shave day, wasn't it? Both of us.
Yeah, but I did, yeah. Got to be done. It was driving me mad.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
Right, welcome to RickyVillaTV in association with Shelfside Spurs and Spurswasian TV. How are you all feeling today? Enjoy your lunch, John. What are you having?
McDonald's by the look of it.
Waffles.
Waffles.
Nice.
Waffles.
Okay, let's start out with On This Day in History. And this is one during COVID, where we played the famous Wycombe Wanderers in the fourth round of the FA Cup.
Yeah.
At was it Adams Park? Yeah. And 1-1 at half time, but we ran out 4-1 winners. So starting lineup was Joe Hart in goal, the legend that is Daddy Davis at left back, the legend that is Toby Alderweireld in central defence, John's favourite player, Davison Sanchez, as well in central defence. Tanganga at right back, Winks and Sissoko's holding midfielders, Lamella attacking central midfielder, Lucas Moura on the left, Bale on the right, and Carlos Vinicius up front.
No.
Does anyone have any memories of that? Because I can't say I do.
None at all.
Okay.
It's weird, isn't it? Harry Kane's sub. I suppose they arrested him. That's all I can think.
Yeah, I would have thought so. But that's COVID was all a bit of a blur to me.
Yeah.
But Guy says he's going to make a coffee and he'll join in a sec. Well, minutes. So it's quite an interesting lineup there, and also that Undon Bailey, who was the great hope at the time, came off the bench and scored twice.
Well, I remember that game. Yeah, he actually scored 2 really good goals, didn't he?
Yeah,
he was capable of it if he put his mind to it. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, do you remember that goal he scored against Villa in his debut?
Yeah,
that was a bit special, and I thought we actually had a player there. Where is he now? He's at Nice, isn't he?
I'll have a look for you.
Yeah, I think he's. I'll never forget that. The Scousers Harry Enfield sketch. Oh, I've heard there's a really good place in the south of France. It's called Nice. Oh yeah, and after that we can go and get a drink in Cannes.
Yeah, he's at Nice. Played 21 games this season, 1 goal.
Really?
Oh. Sounds like you're not trying again.
Yeah, I think he seems to have finally signed for them. All the other teams before that were on loan from Tottenham, so he's actually signed for Nice.
Yeah, because where was he before? He was in Turkey, wasn't he? Galatasaray, I think.
He had Lyon, then Napoli, then Galatasaray on loan. Doesn't look like he did that well at Galatasaray. Only 19 games, no goals.
No, I remember he was always on the bench. So, yeah. Anyway,
great player, wasn't he? Like dribbling wise, like he's probably one of the best dribblers I've seen. Obviously,
since Hoddle.
Mbele himself was a great dribbler, wasn't he? But then Mbele was a great dribbler, but just a bit of a maverick, wasn't he? Wasn't interested in modern day football. He's like interested in playing with the ball and doing skills and flicks, and couldn't be bothered to get fit like a professional, could he?
Yeah,
I think the ball was tied to his. The ball was tied to his shoelace. Because the way he never left it. You know, he could run the 40, 50 yards with it, and it was never. He was totally controlled all the time. You know.
Yeah.
But now.
Was it just a rumour that what's his name, Mourinho, said that he needed to stop eating McDonald's or something like that? Or was that actually in a press conference?
There's no smoke without fire. There's a lot of truth in most jokes, isn't there? So I think it was probably a little veiled pop at trying not to have a direct pop at him, but try and get the message across in a fun kind of way that you can't eat McDonald's when you're a professional footballer, chicken nuggets or whatever. He's eating all the time.
It's seriously, all I can say is he came from Lyon, which is the culinary centre of France. I went there when we drew 1-1. Funnily enough, talking of Den Bailey got the I think the 85th minute equaliser, and we went through. But some of the food that they had there was absolutely out of this world. And he wants to eat McDonald's,
Nuggets, chicken nuggets,
and chicken nuggets. McDonald's, Kentucky Fried Chicken, and a Pizza Hut.
Isn't that amazing that we can all remember that? Like, there's probably one assembly when we were about 12, and then years later we all still remember that song.
Yeah, bloody hell. Yeah. Okay, so you want to talk about Dortmund, or you want to talk about yesterday?
Oh, mate. Easy, whatever.
I don't mind, you're the host, son.
Okay, so I'd like to talk about Dortmund.
Yeah.
Because we were down to the absolute bare bones, and we looked really good. Okay, the sending off did help us out, but we were in the ascendancy already before that guy got sent off.
Mm.
The old days, like the bloody old days when we used to play to win.
Yeah. And Romero scored a lovely goal. Solanke, yeah, I don't think we'll ever see a goal like that again. That was, what was it? It hit his right foot, then it went onto his left foot, then it bounced off his right foot again and went in.
Wrong footed the keeper.
Exactly. Yeah, that's. I reckon that was actually his plan all along.
Yeah.
So
my commentator said he looks like he should get the assist for that as well.
Yeah. Well,
Didn't Odegaard get both the assists, didn't he? I think. In the end.
Did he? No, that was Odegaard, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's what I mean. He got both assists. He got both assists for both goals, didn't he, Odegaard?
Oh, right. Sorry. Yeah, I thought you were talking about Solanke, because I think the commentator was saying that Solanke should have got the assist. But yes, so I thought he played pretty well. What do you reckon about man of the match?
Simmons, I think. Simmons was brilliant, wasn't
he? Simmons had one of his best games for us. He was on the ball. Yeah, he was pretty good.
Well, apparently a lot of people, I think the press outlets voted for Odegaard, but my man of the match would be Spence, because he doesn't usually play as a left winger, and I thought he was absolutely brilliant. And yeah, anyway, right, we have another guest coming in. So
he's got it in his locker, hasn't he?
Hello.
How are you?
That guy.
I just literally woke up.
Oh, no.
I thought the show was at 9 o'clock in the morning, so I set my alarm for 9, and then I checked the notification. It was like, no, it's 12, so I was like, I'm going back to bed.
No, fair enough.
How are you, lads?
I wish I'd been able to stay in bed that long as well, but unfortunately, when you have a daughter who says, "Can you come down and make me breakfast, please?" at 8:30, then yeah.
Well, I am sprog free, mate. I am sprog free. Hey,
Right,
Tom, how's it going?
Nice to meet you, Guy. You right? First time.
Yeah,
you've
good.
been on.
Nice to meet you, Rob. I've seen you on the show. I thought I'd drop in because lads, it's only Burnley.
But no, we're on the positive bit of the show now, Guy. We're
Oh,
talking about
yes. Yeah, you were talking about man of the match, so I'll let you continue.
Yeah, so no, I think everybody, John and Kev said that they thought Siemens was man of the match. I went for Spence. What would you say?
Well, I'm a bit biased because Spence is my favourite player. But seeing as he's out of position and he did a good game, I still say Xavi. I'll still say Xavi.
Okay. Yeah.
It's weird, isn't it? The mentality of certain players, if they're playing against a league or a team that they know and they perform well in that league, then they just sort of up their game, don't they? We saw it yesterday, didn't we, with Burnley as well? Because he obviously came from Burnley. He knew those players. He knew he had the better of them, and he just upped his game yesterday, didn't it? Sometimes,
will kind of disappear. He got 2 great assists. I mean, like if you look at one of the assists, Odegaard, because he went for a shot, kind of scuffed it, and then he went, you know what? I'm still going to put it in the box, and he recovered the ball, and then a great assist. He just blasts it into the box, and then Romero gets a little tippy tapper, and you're just like, cool. I like that. I like that.
Yeah.
We've heard a lot about him. Like, I mean, Ange used to rave about him all the time. Then he said that the other players were pushing him to give Odegaard more minutes because he was on fire in training. But you hear quite a lot about players that are good in training and they've never translated it into the games. Obviously, a confidence thing.
This is the thing. I was talking to a couple of friends weirdly about Odegaard, and I was saying because you might not know this, but my godkids play the sport, and we go to training and stuff like that, and they'll pull off some really crazy stuff. But as soon as that pressure, even from like the parents watching in the middle of a game, they just completely shrivel. But yeah, it is one of those things where I do think with Odegaard, it is just a confidence thing. I really do think it's a confidence thing. Because we'll get onto the Burnley game, but in that Dortmund game, he was pretty much on fire as our winger, wasn't
he? Yeah, definitely. I'd agree with that.
My brother, I watched the games with, said I think he just needs a scorcher or something to go in. That he's been so unlucky. Like yesterday, probably 4 or 5 great chances, and the keeper just kept saving them all, didn't he?
Yeah.
Will his moment ever come where he scores a really good goal and he thinks, oh, I can do it at this level. I am good enough, kind of thing.
Yeah. I think Odegaard is one of those ones where I think that there is, and I would say amazing, but you know what I mean. We deal in hyperbole all the time, but I think there isn't an amazing player there. It's just getting that consistency out of him and just building that confidence up. But yeah, I do think that he's an asset to the team. I really do.
What they need to do is get him to shadow Kulusevski, I think, because he's so powerful and strong, and he as for a winger. If we can get that into Odegaard as well, because I was watching some old highlights of Ginola the other day, and you don't realise how strong he was.
Yeah.
Like he could just push people away, like Kudus does as well. Being strong is such a good asset for a winger, isn't it? Because you can just push people away and
teaching aggression. That's another thing, because they do this in with my godkids. They teach them really not to be mean or angry, but to be aggressive on the ball, because it is a contact sport, and a lot of people they'll focus on their footwork and they'll do all these step overs and kick ups and volleys and stuff. But as soon as they get the ball, they just get bullied off it because it's not really in their nature. So it really does have to be trained into them. But yeah, I totally agree, Tom.
We said this yesterday actually about Odegaard. We noticed he doesn't like any kind of physical contact. Anytime he comes near people, he kind of shies out of it. And he needs to learn. He's got to get stuck in and be a bit stronger, because that's his only sort of down point at the moment. But he's carrying the balls really good, and he's got some skill in him. He's got good shooting on his left and his right foot. If he can just get one to go in.
Yeah. No, that's
totally
true.
agree.
You think he needs to bulk up a bit?
Which is weird, considering he came from Burnley, and Burnley's got that reputation of being one of those rough and ready teams. You think they would have trained it into him, but but he's so young. He's so young. I think give him more time. Give him more time.
Coming on to the young bit, do you think that is also the case with Bergvall and Gray then, that they need to be given more time?
Oh, Gray. He's
what, 19?
Yeah, I think Archie Gray has so much to learn that it's crazy. I'm not an Archie Gray fan or an Archie Gray defender at all. Every time when he got subbed on, whenever he gets subbed on, I'm just like, oh dear. My confidence in us scoring goes from a 6 out of 10 to a 3 out of 10. You know what I mean? Bergvall, I think Bergvall's got more, or Berryvall, depending. I've changed girlfriends, by the way. My new one's Russian.
Okay.
So I can say Bergvall now without getting a clip round the ear. I think Bergvall's got a higher ceiling than Archie Gray from what I've seen. From what I've seen. But the thing is, with these very young players, the thing is, you know this. Everyone knows this, and it's with these very young players. We don't know if we're gonna get a Son or we don't know if we're gonna get goals or trash. You know what I mean? It's just one of those things. It's always taking a punt on them, and I've always said this: like, one season is never enough with a young player. It always takes multiple seasons. But that's the problem, isn't it? It's like, do we have multiple seasons to develop these guys? But yeah.
Do we have time?
I think it must be difficult for the guy as well that he came from Leeds, where I think he predominantly played right back. And then last season, he was basically played all along the back four and then a couple of times in midfield. And now he's being played as a midfielder. So, jack of all trades, master of none.
Yeah, he's been a bit unlucky in that regard, hasn't he? I don't know. I don't think he knows what he wants to be anymore. I think he wants to be a centre mid, doesn't he? But he obviously played that season at right back and then the season at centre back, and he's struggling to find his identity a little bit, isn't he? But I do like he receives the ball in well. His technique's really good at the entire area. If you see when they do the rondos and stuff, he's really comfortable receiving the ball and moving it on quickly, which is a sign of a good player. One touch, two touch. He does do that very well, but I don't know what his long-term position is going to be, really. Whether he's going to be a utility man, like Stevie P, maybe.
Yeah. Well, if he's half as good as Stevie P, then fuck me, we got a great player.
Yeah.
All the managers seem to like him. They say he takes on information and tactically he's really good as well. That's one good thing he's got going for him. If you give him a job, he'll stick to it and do it. So he's got a good football brain. He comes from a good football family, doesn't he? So
yes.
Yeah.
I got completely rinsed, by the way. I got completely rinsed because I was completely unaware that Archie Gray came from a football dynasty. I just didn't know, because here's the thing. I don't know every player and their family's descent and all that. And I was like, I've never heard of this Gray family. Hey, Eugene. I was like, I've never heard of this Gray family. What are you talking about? And I got completely rinsed. Like, how can you not tell? Blah, 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 blah. I was like, whoa. Okay.
Was his
my generation, Eddie Gray and Frankie Gray, they played when I was a youngster, your age.
Does he have links to Scotland? So do you think Archie would?
Yeah.
He does, yeah. So do you think Archie may change allegiance? Because he's under 21s at the moment, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah. I watched him in the under 21s. I mean, if he does, there'll be a great upset, I think, because he performed. Here's the thing: like, I've watched it because I watched the under 21s Euros and Euros and World Cup because I like to scout. I'm just about to say I like to scout the youth without sounding like I'm a little dodgy fella, but
Island.
Yeah, exactly.
Sorry.
And one of my godkids really wants me to get into women's football, and I'm trying. I'm really trying. But I always watch the under 21s, and my godkids like him. They think he's a great player. They think, oh, he's really good. He's really good. I was like, okay, cool. I mean, he does good stuff for the under 21s. I'm not lying, but. Is he cutting the mustard at this time in this team in this season?
I don't think there are many people who are. And to expect
that could be leveled. That could be leveled at a lot of them, couldn't it?
Yeah, to expect that from a 19-year-old. I think we should give him more time. But
yeah, definitely.
Do we have time? Kev, what are your thoughts on Mr. Gray? Or Master Gray?
If he's half as good as what his grandfather and his uncles were or whatever, he's got it there. He's got the mentality.
Yeah.
Physique-wise, I think he's a bit on the skinny side, to be honest. He's a bit of a lightweight. If he wants to play centre mid, he's got to bulk up a little bit. But he's got the skills, he's got vision, so there's no reason why he can't do it.
where did his uncle and his dad play? As in which position?
It was on the wings, as far as I can remember.
On the wing?
They played in the dirty leagues in the 60s
Yes.
and 70s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm.
Yeah. Well, he's still there or thereabouts, isn't he, Eddie Gray at Leeds?
It's got something to do with it, yeah.
A coach or a scout or something like that. So yeah.
It'd be a statue as well.
I think his brother still plays for Leeds.
I
He's
thought
got a
he
younger
moved.
brother. Has he gone? Is he?
I think so. I thought I read somewhere that he's moved to another team. Maybe it was just on loan, but let me have a look.
Oh, his brother, yeah.
No, actually, it does say that he is still in the youth team at Leeds.
Yeah, I remember when we played him, they said that there was pictures of him or something talking to his brother when they were warming up.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh no, sorry, he's on loan at Rotherham.
Hmm.
So the stewards weren't doing their job then if his brother was on the pitch when we played Leeds. Get him off.
Yeah, Rotherham. That was a fun trip. Bloody hell, that was many years ago. It was Steve's, I think his 40th, and we went up to watch Watford play Rotherham, and I arranged a hotel because I used to work for Hilton at that point. We stayed at the Hilton Sheffield, and yeah, the less said about that weekend, the better.
Hilton Rotherham.
Rotherham's like, I think, 10 minutes drive from Sheffield, and yeah, it was a highly amusing weekend. But yeah, I'm not sure that my liver would be able to handle.
Gray was a left back. Sorry,
Who was?
Frankie Gray was a left back. Eddie Gray was a winger. Yeah.
Oh, okay, right. And they played at the same time in the same team.
He came in the same team as the back. I just read he came in the team at 17 and scored a goal on his debut. So he knew the game.
Yeah.
I'm Scottish, obviously.
Mm-hmm. Nice. So last thing I want to talk about in regards to Dortmund was Junai Byfield getting his debut. What did you think of his performance?
He's a very mature 17-year-old. That's what I'll say. I think he got his age wrong.
He's built like a brick shit house, mate.
He is, isn't he?
Everyone I've spoke to, the first thing out their mouths was, he's 17. Jesus Christ. You know, it's just but yeah, no, look, I think it's one of the things, this lineup I really liked, to be honest. When I saw this lineup, because I am Spence biased, and I've always said Spence, I'm not saying he's a Bale 2.0, but I think that he could be capable on the wings. But yeah, when Byfield came on, I was like, cool. I mean, we didn't concede, so I've got no qualms about him.
I did think it was a bit special that he went to right back, and then where the fuck did Porro go?
Kind of floated around.
Where did he play? Was he in centre mid, or was he? I didn't really get that one. But John, you're our resident tactician. Where exactly did Porro push into? Because I couldn't quite figure it out.
I think Byfield was supposed to be helping Porro. That was effectively what he said in his post-match interview after. He was sort of playing on that right-hand side to tuck in and help Porro. But obviously, Porro used the opportunity to bomb a bit further on, didn't he? Because we were playing quite well and more advanced. But there's a good video of Byfield as well. When he was a little kid in there in the car, they're talking about the Champions League final.
With Carl Walker-Peters.
Yeah. It's good. It's good to see when he's starry-eyed, like dreaming one day maybe I'll play in the Champions League, and now he has. Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah, nice to see you, Eva, man. I hope you're well. Please give the RickyVillaTV and Shelfside Spurs a like and a subscribe. I know that you're already subscribed to Spurs Wation TV. Always present at the on the watch-alongs, and always about 20 seconds quicker than everybody else, even though you're in Hong Kong. You know, so
I don't know how she does it, but she's always like 2 steps ahead of us in the watch-along.
Yeah. But yeah, as the rest of us were, she wasn't very happy yesterday. So let's go on to yesterday. Burnley 2, Spurs 2. I don't know if it's just the end result has soured it for me, but I didn't think we played particularly well in the first half.
No, we didn't.
I know that you said, John, that you thought we did.
Well, we created a lot of chances, didn't we? Mainly from Odegaard, all them chances he had.
Yeah. And their goalkeeper had an absolute blinder.
Made a raft of
Man of the match.
Yeah. What do you think about
him?
Seven
shots and man of the match for Dubravka. Yeah.
You shouldn't need that first goal, should you? With 3 big lump centre backs like that for an easy crossing. No one picked him up, free header at the back post. He shouldn't be conceding goals like that with three big lump centre backs. So it's such a soft goal. It'd be interesting to see how Xavi's comments went down, because he mugged off the defence in his interview, saying we can't concede crap goals like that and expect to win games. So I'm sure the defence will be most enamoured with those comments.
But come on, they've got to understand that he was in miles of space.
It
picked up.
They were bird watching, because when I keep watching I'm a glutton for punishment, because I was just like, what actually went on? And because during the game, I watched Kyle Walker, who's still a great player, crosses the ball so well, and it looks like our defense were just so enamored by the cross, they kind of just watched it go across them. There's about, I think there like 3 players in that space, maybe 4. That was the first time I saw it, and they just watched it, and it just go bing, bing. And I just went.
Weren't they too busy whinging about the award of the throw-in, or there was a free kick they were arguing they should have got, weren't they? And they were too busy arguing with the ref about that, and they switched off completely.
Yeah, switched off completely is the right word, mate. It was disgusting. It was disgusting.
And again, our centre backs are scoring the goals.
I think they're fed up with it now, I think.
What exactly? Let's go back to the start. The formation. Now, I don't know if it's just me, maybe I'm old-fashioned, but I've always thought that playing 3 centre-backs is basically a defensive move.
You've come to the right place. When I won the league as a manager, I played 3 at the back, and I used to have this argument with my players every week. They used to say it was a defensive. I said it's actually an attacking formation, because you're sacrificing a defender for an extra striker most of the time. So you've only got three defenders as opposed to 4. So Porro and Spence were playing high up the pitch, weren't they, as pretty much attackers. So you're actually sacrificing a defender for another attacker. So it's actually an attacking formation. It can be, especially if you want to get 2 forwards up there, which we did yesterday. We had 2 forward. We had Odegaard and Simmons floating around internally rather than hanging out wide around Solanke. So in theory, we had 3 central players, which makes space for Porro and Spence to use the wings. And it's a perfect game for Bissouma as well, because he had cover behind him, so he didn't have to be too, tactically and just defensively aware. So he could just pick up the loose balls, and which is what he's good at, and driving and playing. And he had Gallagher running around like a blue-ass fly, pressing and Harry.
Just literally a lawnmower.
Yeah, it's a perfect formation for Bissouma. So I can see why he did it, because he's got the protection behind him to go and be Bissouma. Spence and Porro can get up and down, and then your 2 players just behind Solanke. Solanke is always going to work his arse off, and he running all the channels. My brother was saying yesterday, why doesn't Richie do this? Because literally there was shit balls down the channels, and Solanke makes them into, I wouldn't say good balls, he makes them into something, doesn't he? Chases them down, puts pressure on the defenders and makes them hurry, and its defending starts from the front. Richie just doesn't seem to have the footballing brain to be able to chase down a shit ball. He just throws his arms up, and that's shit. I'm not chasing that. But Solanke's such a good professional. He would chase everything. When he's like a dog and he's chasing the ball, he'll chase everything. But he often sets the tone. And the defenders, the centre backs, will normally crap on the ball, aren't they? So they're more often than not, if you rush them and hurry them, they'll make a mistake. So And I don't know if you remember 3 or 4 games ago when Odegaard played at number 10. I think that was one of his better games, because he was great in there, pressing and harrying and putting pressure on the centre backs and just all over the place, really, really energetic. And so it's a really good position for him, sort of inside a little bit. And obviously Simmons, that's his position anyway. So in theory, it was a I can see what he's trying to do effectively.
Yeah, Tom, I totally agree. Because what you're doing, because what I think Frank took from the Dortmund game and brought into this game is the fact that he was like, okay, so Spence and Porro. Spence proved himself as a winger. All right, so I'm going to use him as an attacking wing back. Porro usually pushes further up the pitch anyway, so I'm going to use those strengths. So Spence and Porro adds more attack onto the wings and kind of bolsters Alderweireld and Simmons. But yeah, it is a more attacking formation. It just, I don't know. It just, and I totally agree on Solanke. I much prefer Solanke than Richie as a striker. He just seems to, especially like if you look in the Dortmund game, even though he knows he might not score, he still goes for that chance. And he might score some scuffy goals, right? He might score some scuffy goals, but at least he's going for it. And sometimes that little scuffy goal might go in the back of the net, as we saw in Dortmund. I totally understood why Frank was playing this. And I went into this game looking at the lineup and the formation going, I don't hate this. I'm a little bit confused, but I don't hate this. But obviously, things didn't go to plan.
The other good thing about that formation as well is you don't have to really. Well, I used to play it because I didn't trust my defensive midfielders to stay there and shield my defence. When you've got three in there, often one of them can step out into that little gap in front of the back four and sweep stuff up, and you don't have to have a designated defensive midfielder. Because I don't necessarily think Basuma or Gallagher are that way inclined either to just sit in front, like the old Eric Dyer role, sit in front of that back four and patrol and sweep up. So you've got that extra protection in front of the defence in theory, because Romero likes stepping out and being aggressive in there anyway, doesn't he? So in theory, it was a good.
Yeah, and also we all know, just one more thing, we all know our midfield gets run through more than Hornax's, right? So you can, what I think they were also doing, so Spence and Porro could also bolster that midfield as well. I thought that, like I say, I've got no qualms on the formation. Or even the players. But what do you think, Kev?
Porro, not so much. Porro, I was drifting away because I was thinking about Porro and why does he keep taking them free kicks? I don't know. It's just like when Harry Kane used to take them. You know they're not going to go anywhere. But that was my take on the other side of the football. Like, so sorry about that. I was drifting away from your conversation. No disrespect.
Yeah. All right, I'm taking.
What are we talking about?
I was formulating an opinion about Porro at the same to get it out while you were talking. So that's why I was.
Good. It's like my new girlfriend. My new girlfriend after a football match, she just goes, "Okay, cool."
Yeah.
But Kev, what did you think of the change of formation? Now, I thought myself that perhaps play the same. Although of course it wouldn't have been the same because Berfau was not available. But play the same as we did against Dortmund. But again, it's Dortmund. It's playing a team in the Champions League and playing Burnley at Turf Moor. Kind of different, isn't it? So
it goes to show you as well how poor the Bundesliga is, isn't it? Because Simmons again stepped up and was really good against the Bundesliga team. And the guys that have come over from the Bundesliga have struggled to settle into the physicality and the pace of the Premier League, haven't they? So,
but what did you think then, Kev? Do you think it was a good idea? Do you think it was not?
No, I don't.
No.
No, I honestly don't. I'm sorry Bergvall got injured and everything, but if he was playing, it'd been a different story, I think.
Yeah, that's true.
It was a strange injury, wasn't it? It didn't look like anything. Like I looked at the replays. Yeah. He sort of just landed a bit funny. Maybe his ankle had a wobble. And my brother said he's broken his ankle, hasn't he?
I think he was carrying an injury already, wasn't he?
Right.
But he was forced to play. Well, yeah.
Come on, it's Tottenham. It's Tottenham. If they say it's just a knock or he'll be okay, he's out for half a season, man. I'm so over it's just a knock or he'll be all right, or as soon as a player goes down or starts limping, I'm thinking, right, he's out. He's
Pretty
out. Great.
We don't seem to learn from our mistakes, though, because as soon as he went down, he went like that. I'm done, and they made him get up and try a few sprints and
warm up.
play
Yeah.
on for 5 minutes because they didn't trust any of the players on the bench, basically, did they? So they wanted to. They pretty shit themselves, like, oh shit, well, which one of these youngsters can we put on? And then they made the injury potentially worse, didn't they, by making him try and carry on. If you've got a broken ankle and they're trying to make you play on for another 5 minutes with a broken ankle,
Crazy.
insane.
Crazy.
Wasn't it the same with Kulusevski?
And
When he did his
Dragishin.
knee.
They made Dragishin do those jumps in the air when he'd done his knee ligaments.
Yeah.
Yeah, and let's not talk about. Yeah, and let's not talk about. And I always bring this up, and I will always hate this club for this. Right, the fact that Son was playing with a hernia, didn't know that he had a hernia until he went to his international medical team, and they went, "Bro, you've got a hernia." I'll never forgive this club for that. I think that it helped, it aided in his poor form before he just left the club. I will always hold that against this club because it wasn't. The one thing that I also didn't like it is the fact that UK press didn't cover it that much. I found out about it in North Korean press. Sorry, not North Korean. Sorry. Yeah, I was going to say
that. You got access to that. I'm a bit worried, mate.
As soon as I said that, I was like, we shouldn't trust anything North Korea says. But no, I read it in a South Korean interview just before, just after he got there, because he was interviewed, and I'm a massive Sonny guy, and I got it translated by a friend, and he was like, yeah, he's been playing with a hernia. Did you know that? I was like, no. He's like, yeah, he's been playing for it for nearly a season. What?
He talked about it as well, and he said, I knew I was injured, but the team needed me, so I couldn't afford to have an operation. So that's the kind of guy he is. He's like, my team needed me, I couldn't afford to. So he was trying to delay it, didn't it? Because they could get to a point where he could have it and the other players would come back. But obviously being Spurs, no players were ever coming back, so he had to carry on playing through the pain barrier. And his dad was probably saying to him, you play on.
Yeah, his dad is
I've ripped my groin, but you play on. He's terrified of his poor dad, isn't he?
Yeah, for the honour of the family, you play on.
Yeah. But no, I mean, this game in particular, I was on the watch along with Eugene, and like I say, in the first half, I was like, oh, you could smell a goal coming. You know when you're just like, a goal is coming, and then VDV hits it in. And I'm like, cool, defender scores again. All right. Yeah, it was a great goal. I loved it. And I went, please hold out till half time. Please don't concede. And what do? We do what we usually do just before half time.
Yeah.
Bang.
And such, as we mentioned before, such a poor goal to concede, especially with three decent centre backs on the pitch.
You weren't that impressed with the first half performance then, Jens? What was concerning you?
No, I just thought. I think it's probably because when you play, we did play to a good standard, but to only be one goal up towards the end of the first half, that's why I probably wasn't that impressed, because I suppose there's not a lot you can do when a goalie has a worldie like that.
Yeah, it's always against us, isn't it?
Yeah, so that kind of mitigates it a little bit. So yeah, maybe I should say that we did play pretty decent in the first half, but second half it always seems to be we can never have two halves of decent football in a match.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's about being proactive, isn't it? So obviously, during the first half, the other manager works out what we're doing, how to combat us. They come out in the second half, make their changes, and we don't seem to have a plan to sort of counteract. All right, so they're going to expect us to carry on playing the same way. So we need to try something a bit different here, because they're going to second bluff us, and it don't seem to ever happen, does it?
Yeah. Well, this is. I was expecting more of these messages this morning or this afternoon. Hello, Brian. How are you, mate? Please like and subscribe to all three of the channels. Frank needs to go. He will get us relegated. People discuss.
Well, him as a person, him as a manager, and his effect on our club.
No, I mean, do you think we could be relegated?
Potentially, yeah. I think that if you look at anyone here, right, based on our past performances, because that's all we've got to go on.
Mm-hmm.
Where are we picking up points for the next 4 to 5 weeks?
On
Nowhere.
last word on Spurs last night, Guy.
Nowhere.
One of the guys was saying, I think we will have enough in us to get 3 wins. And then someone said to him, yeah, but if you think about it, we've only won 3 in our last 12, and these next 4 games we've got, we're not getting a lot out of them. And then we've got to win 3 games out of 14. We've only won 3 out of 12. How are we going to win?
Yeah, I totally agree. Because I looked at our fixtures. I tend to not look at the fixtures because it's depressing as it is as a Spurs fan the last couple of seasons. But I actually looked at the fixtures. The only points I can see is picking up is Crystal Palace and Leeds. The problem is those 2 games are at home. So we're probably not going to pick up points from them.
At home after these next 4 games, we're potentially not going to get any points, and it's going to be amped up the dissatisfaction.
And the problem is, most people I speak to are in this weird fallacy, right? That the table's static, right? For some reason, people think the table's static. So they go, oh, yeah, we can get a good 6 points here and there. I'm like, but other teams play as well. You know that, right? Other teams play. And it's just, and people are in this thing of, oh, it can't get any worse. And I'm like, yeah, it can. It can. It can get a lot worse.
Well,
and
like you said, if we're basing it on what happens on the pitch, and there's nothing on the pitch to give us any kind of hope that we're going to turn things around, is there?
No, there's not. There's not. And there was one more thing that, like, one of the points that I can't remember. I was like I say, I just woke up, so let my brain get in gear. And the thing is, it's just like I'm looking at us, and like I say, I remember. Yeah, this was it. This was the point, right? So I was talking to a friend who said, and I quote, Burnley's not a must-win game because we're guaranteed to pick up 10 points at the end of the season. And I said, if we don't wait, but even if we do, just imagine if we do. I said, if we're not picking up maximum points at Burnley, that means you're requiring this team, and this coach. Hey, Mark's show. This team and this coach.
Nice to see you.
You're happy to put more pressure on them at the end of the season. What makes you think that this team can survive that pressure? And they went, oh, I'm sure they'll do it. I'm like, I have no hope, mate. Because look at my background, dude.
Yeah.
I'm
just looking at our last 5 games. And it's Wolves away. We have a shit record against Wolves in the past few years. Villa away, they're probably going to be looking at challenging for top 4, if not top 2. Leeds at home, Chelsea away, and then at home to Everton last day of the season. I can't see where we're picking up.
It didn't help that our coach was telling them all week, oh, Burnley, it's a difficult place to go. No, it isn't. They haven't won for 10 games.
Oh,
it's a difficult place to go.
I'm going to get on, if we're going to have a different frank discussion at the end, I am going to raise this point about him having way too much respect for Burnley. I don't respect Burnley as a club at all. If you saw last season how they got up from the Championship, it was a disgrace how they played, right? They were knocking 0-0 draws like they were just like, oh, we'll get to the Premier League. Don't worry, lads. If we go back down, we'll get that nice parachute payment. We'll go back up. Same again. I've got zero respect for Burnley as a club. Man for man, they're worse than us. Coach for coach, they're worse for us. I know Scott Parker as a player because he used to play for Charlton, and Charlton is like my local team, so I know a lot about Scott Parker. The very fact that Frank is saying, "Oh, lads, it's Burnley. It's a hard place to go. Yada yada yada." The last time I went to Burnley away was in 2015 for the FA Cup. Right, half of the Burnley fans didn't even turn up for the match. Right, the stadium was empty. It was a 1-1 draw with a Ben Davies cross. Lol. And I thought Kane scored it, but it was Chadley. Remember Chadley? Lol.
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
The new Ronaldo.
Yeah. He scored a goal. It was a 1-1 draw. They didn't even the fans didn't turn up for the game. It was Sean Dyche at the time, and we were absolute drivel. All we did as Spurs fans was just get drunk and shout abuse at the Burnley players, right?
But that's the thing. Half of Burnley's fans probably got arrested before the match because they do like a tear up there. So,
Yeah.
Sorry.
But yeah, we should not be facing Burnley with fear in our heart. What are we doing?
And can you imagine these meetings, these lunch meetings that Frank's supposedly having with Vinay? Yeah, I think we need to buy Andy Robertson because he's got character if we get dragged into a relegation battle. It's like, what are you smoking, mate? You want to buy Andy Robertson because he's got character in case we get dragged into a relegation battle. That's what our coach is thinking about our team.
This. Go on, Kev.
Sorry.
Go on, Kev.
No, I was going to say I saw the numbers this morning quoted in one of the papers. 160 grand a week for a 3-year contract. Robertson.
Fuck it, it's not our money, Kev. Let him
I
pay
think
it.
that's worth. I think he'd be worth it.
Yeah.
I really do. Yeah. Just want to go back to something that Brian said. Would anyone on here have Poch back next season? I know that John's going to be a positive on that.
Yeah.
Guy, Kev.
Yeah.
Mate, I would rather have a cardboard cutout of Poch at the end of the season than what we've got now, mate. Because a cardboard cutout of Poch, at least we'll get the fans and the players going, we were once great, We were once great. At least it will help with the mentality.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true.
Great.
But to Mark's show, I'm not sure which one this is, if it's the Sheriff or Cookie, but whoever, nice to see you, chaps. Has the team got the nuts for a relegation battle? February is awful for us, and if the Spammers pick up a couple of wins in that time, we will be in big trouble.
Yep.
I don't think we have. I don't think they have.
Yep. All it takes is for Notts Forest or West Ham, which they've won back-to-back games now, thanks to us, right? All it takes is for those two teams to go on a nice little run, and these teams are hardened for the relegation battle, right? They're hardened for it, right? They know how scrappy it can get. That's why relegation 6-pointers. Why are 6-pointer matches always really entertaining to watch? Because they know the stakes. I don't think these players have the balls, the feet, the brains, or the might for a relegation scrap. I really don't think they do.
Well, it amazes me as well is that, as Brian is saying here, Robertson has leadership qualities which we are lacking. Now, Paulinho has that as well, yet, we're not sure if we want to sign him permanently.
Pathetic.
I don't understand half of the things that this manager is doing or saying. I think.
Well, another thing, Jens, yesterday, his job's on the line, and he throws on Tell, who he's completely ostracised, pissed off time and time again, belittled his confidence, left him out of squads, annoyed the hell out of him. And when he needs a miracle to try and save his job, he puts him on. It's like, this man's got some fucking balls, hasn't he? Fucking
Tell
do that and then try and rely on him.
Tell is one of those players you've coached, right? So you know this, right? It's a catch-22, right? Player needs more game time to be better. Player isn't getting game time because the manager doesn't think he's good enough. So he's in one of these catch-22 limbos where he won't get time because the manager don't trust him, but he needs time so the manager can trust him. It's just
and then he's when he gets to see the confidence by having a good game or doing something good. He don't play him for another 3 or 4 games. He can't get a tune out of him when he keeps denting his confidence and ripping the rug from underneath him, and he throws him on yesterday when he needs him to try and get him out of trouble. It's just bizarre.
Yeah.
And Basuma as well, completely bombed Basuma off all season, and then he's desperate now and he's got to put him in.
Don't talk to me about that. His managers, right. Here's the thing, right? So if you know this, right, even my godkids know this, yeah? You can't be late for training or a game. I play five-a-side, right? You're late for the game, right? Because you're paying for the pitch, right? It's disrespect. I get that, right? And I get the whole I'm forever snorting balloons thing. But the problem is, if the manager has the balls to say, oh, I'm disciplining him, yada, 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 and then all of a sudden has to play him and then goes, oh, you know what? He's actually playing great, so I'm going to play him again. Just makes me think you're just a twat, mate. I just, oh.
He didn't have a leg to stand on. Either did after Romero come out and basically called the board liars the other day, and that's like 10 times worse than what Basuma did, being late for training a couple of times. So he didn't really have a leg to stand on there, did he? Because the club just swept that under the carpet and said, oh, yeah, never mind. And Basuma's like, well, I was late for training a couple of times. This guy's just fucking called the board liars and completely set him alight in public, and you're letting him come back about the slightest kind of discipline. So, but Basuma's such a chilled out guy, anyway. He fucking just gets on with it, doesn't he?
Yeah. But I think, to be honest, Frank, is he just trying to be too clever? Is he one of those who thinks, oh, yeah, it's, you know, I can do this and I can do that, and it's not working, and he doesn't seem to have the man management skills?
Problem
or is it just, as Brian is saying, it's too big for him?
Well, the problem is, Jens, you've got to build a culture from within. The only reason when I was a manager that I could get away with a lot of stuff I did, because my brother and all his mates were in the team from when we built. So when we got to about season 7, season 8, season 9, I already had the main, what do you say, nucleus of the team knew me for years and years and years, so I could do what I wanted to do without, because I knew I had the backing of the majority of the players. Thomas Frank hasn't got that. He's come in, a lot of them are looking at him going, I don't really fancy this guy. He's a bit of a drip. He's not really attacking the football. Don't like his training. And then whispers start in the change room, and then his credibility goes before you know it. And then he's got no sort of backbone to stand up to them, has he? There's talks that he's scared of Romero, isn't there? He lets him do whatever he wants because he doesn't want to, risk upsetting the apple cart by disciplining him. So Romero's got the free rein to do whatever he wants, kind of thing. And once you do that, you've got no discipline in the change room, have you? So he hasn't got that nucleus of players behind him, I don't think, has he? So that's why a lot of the problems are. There's no discipline and no respect for him in the dressing room. You can see it a mile off. Yeah. He's going right back to when Jed Spence and Mickey van der Ven just pushed past him that time, and no respect for him at all.
Yeah. And also, I will add, here's the thing, right? I don't care, and this is a conversation that I'm having with people. I don't care what he did at Brentford.
Yes, no,
I don't care. There is no credit in the bank. There's no credit in the bank for what he did at Brentford. I'm sorry. There's no credit in the bank.
What it is as well, you've probably got people saying to Vinay, oh yeah, these players, they're disrespectful. It's not Frank being rubbish. It's these players aren't so you need to teach them a lesson. We need to get rid of Spence. We need to get rid of VDV. We need to get rid of Romero because these players don't respect the manager. Well, there's a reason they don't respect the manager, because he's not good enough. They're elite players.
They sell them to Arsenal, Vinay. Is that what you want?
If it was just one player, you'd understand, but it's
exactly,
the core of the team.
At the moment, Kev, it seems to be that they're taking the manager's side. He's saying these players aren't respectful and you need to get rid of these players, rather than them thinking, why do they not respect him? They're all elite players. Maybe he's not an elite manager.
Yeah.
There's no maybe about it.
And people say about Spence, and I'm sorry, I'm going to be unabashed here. Spence is my favourite player at Spurs. He's not the best. He's my favourite, right? I've met him a couple of times. He's a really nice chap. I've met a lot of the team. But we've got these narratives of like, oh, Spence has always been a problem with other managers. Well, maybe the other managers weren't using him correctly. Oh, VDV has always had an attitude problem. What?
That's just Dutch players, isn't it? They're just very abrasive and direct.
What? What? When?
No,
What?
she's not sexy football.
Like what? What we doing here? And like, oh, Romero's always been a hothead. He's always a hot-headed guy. Yeah, okay, but because I've got a team of people, character of people. Some have got like some will swear and some won't. It's like, what we doing it? Like, I just don't believe. I just don't believe that like half the team has an attitude problem. I'm sorry, I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it. Not for a second.
We said last week the problem with Johnny Heitinga, he's a good coach, but when he went to Ajax, top level management is about motivation. Each player needs a different kind of motivation, different kind of man management, and motivating players, getting the best out of them. That's top 10%, which the good managers are good at. Mourinho was brilliant at it. He knew what made
yes.
tick. Different things make different players tick. Some people need a carrot, some people need a stick, don't they? Really, and that's what Heitinga was no good at Ajax.
I was just about to say, because obviously you coach, you've come across, right? You've got two angry kids, right? Got two angry kids. One, when he gets angry, plays like a star. The other one that gets angry just starts kicking shins and gets sent off. You've got a kind of different gloves, you know, for, I was about to say something really disgusting then, but I won't. But different approaches for different players.
Yeah, some players you need to make angry to make them play better. Mourinho was great at that, like making these little comments that would make them angry, and then they play better, wouldn't they? Some players, when you dig them out in public, they completely shrink into themselves and they're missing, don't they? So you need to put an arm around those ones and say, oh, you were great against Notts Forest, just do that again, kind of thing. See, this is what you were really good at in that game. Let's come and do that again, kind of. Some players you need to, you be there like a chief cheerleader to them. And some players you need to have a clever comment or a little put down, just, you know, keep them in check and keep their ego in check, kind of thing. Yeah. But that's some of the top coaches can't translate their man management and motivational skills. It's completely different skills, aren't they? Coaching and man management and motivation.
Like I say, for me personally, I think I've stopped watching his pressers. I only get information when I go on streams, because even though I don't have a channel, mate, I go on streams a lot for some reason. People like to invite me on. But some of the stuff that he says and like what he says his approach is, it just sounds like a wet blanket, mate. It just sounds like a wet blanket to me.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I was with a Liverpool fan yesterday watching the game. He popped in, my brother-in-law, and he said Heitinga was renowned at Liverpool for being like the guy that got them hyped up. He said Arne Slot was more the tactical and the pitch setting the team up, and Heitinga's job was basically chief motivator, getting the team worked up and hyped up, kind of thing. So maybe he isn't that good a coach. He's more of a chief cheerleader kind of type.
He's a fluffer.
Yeah.
What do we actually think is going to happen, Kev? Do you think he'll be here till the end of the season? Do you think that they will pull the trigger after we lose probably the next 4 or 5 games, and then we can't even see where the next win is coming from?
I think we'll get a decent result against Frankfurt in a week. They lost again yesterday, by the way. 3-1, I think it was. We'll get a result again. We get either a point or a win, I hope. And but we've got Man City at home next week, so I'm putting that down as a 4-0 loss. Oh, yeah. Right. Yeah, true. Yeah, I'm saying that. Yeah. But I think we get better at City next week, and I think that's the turning point, because if West Ham manage to win at Chelsea next week, we're in the shit, deep shit, and he's got to go. Oh, he hasn't got a winning mentality. He's got a not losing mentality. That's no good to us. Yeah.
Big up, Kev.
He's got to
nail on the head
on all the time.
Do you think maybe the board aren't as stupid as we think, and they're thinking there's no way we're going to get a new manager bounce these next 4 games, even if we bring someone in, they don't stand much of a hope against Man City, Man United. Then we've got Newcastle and is Arsenal or Chelsea or Liverpool. Tough game. Yeah. So maybe they're thinking if we drag out a few more weeks, then make the change, so the new manager can come in with some actually games where he actually stand half a chance of getting some points in. Gives them a bit of time to find a replacement. I don't know. I don't think they are. I think they're just incompetent, to be honest. But
I always see. Here's the thing. So when it comes to this is what I do in my corporate life, right? So a lot of my clients, right? So when it comes to my team, I always err on the caution of naivety. But when it comes to my clients, I always have to err on the side of ignorance and stupidity, because at the end of the day, this board has proved to all of us time and time and time again. It's getting a bit boring, to be honest. That they are incompetent, just incompetent, plain incompetent.
Well, my brother
sorry,
said yesterday, he made a very good point. They're making such a big song and dance that all the decisions are now it's being taken away from one person. Like when Levy was in charge, he made all the decisions.
Decentralisation, yeah.
And then he told the board what he was doing. And now that they're making such a big song and dance that all decisions will be made by this committee and put before the committee. And that's leading to all the problems, because obviously maybe four of the seven want to get rid of him, and the other three are saying, no, let's give him a bit more time. And then they're kind of hamstrung because they've made such a song and dance that they've got to do what the whole board want to do rather than just one person. So Vinay's got no power anymore, is he? And the rest of the board are probably, let's stick with him, let's not stick with him. And they're going around in circles because they can't get a decision out of anyone, which is what happens, isn't it? When you've got too many cooks in the kitchen, there's not one person deciding this has gone too far, we need to get rid of this fucking idiot. Let's do something.
Well,
they need someone.
Share prices at the same time.
But then once they do that, then that completely crushes their new regime, doesn't it? That making decisions as a board kind of thing. Because then they're going completely against that. If one person's making a decision and saying bollocks to the rest of the board, if Viv Lewis wants to go, he's fucking crap, let's get rid of him. She can't do that anymore because they made such a song and dance about it all being a board and taking it away from one person being a decision maker.
I also think
do we miss Levy then?
No.
It's what we said a few weeks ago, Jens. It's one last gift from him because they're being so dead set that we're going to do things different to Levy. It's fucking dicking us up the arse one last time, isn't it?
But I also think that and also we've got to factor in one thing that we also have to factor in. Because I'm a match going fan. I go to the last match that I went to was the Aston Villa game, right? And I refused to go to the West Ham game. Thank God I did. I was like, that's my last game of the season, because I was just like, we've got nothing to play for. We're not going to win champs, right? Tickets are on general sale now. Just to let guys know, you can get them on general sale, right? They are reduced, right? They've gone from 90 quid in the South Stand to 30 quid, right? And yeah, they've reduced the tickets, right? Remember, everyone's like, yeah, they've lowered the price of the tickets. No, they're not listening to you, mate. They're looking at the dwindling match-going tickets. There was 10,000 people less than the Villa game at the West Ham game. 10,000 people. Now, you might say 60,000 people minus 10. That's all right. That's not bad. It's only West Ham. That most of the people that went to that game because they thought it was a guaranteed win, right? Because you know this, right? Families, right? You got a family, right? And you're all Spurs fans, right? You've got your mum, you got your dad, and say you got a kid, yeah, right? So 90 plus the £10 juniors or £30 juniors, depending where you sit, right?
£30 for a kid. Fucking hell. Sorry.
Yeah. The touchline. That's why you could see if you looked at the Dortmund tickets, right? If you looked at the Dortmund tickets, the South Stand and the touchline tickets all sold out. All of the rest were available. So you knew all those people that were going were just die-hard Spurs fans. You could tell just by the tickets, right? So if our tickets are going on general sale, we've got lower attendance at our stadium, which means lower food, concessionary prices, lower merch sales. There's a knock-on effect of all of this in the economics world, right? And I don't want to sound like a certain midget with a cap, yeah? But we all know who we're talking about. But if we're looking at this and we're saying even the fans are not turning up and spending money, and we are losing income because of our performance, that's also got to be a red flag, right? you'd think that if this is a board that just looks at numbers, you'd think that's a red flag as well. But no.
Well, we said in the summer, didn't we, Jens, that it was an interesting summer for them because they were losing Sonny, weren't they? So they needed a superstar to put bums on seats because they were losing all the Korean market. They needed to bring in like a Grealish or something like that to put bums on seats, and they didn't do it, did they?
Yeah.
Didn't do it.
Yeah.
Hi, Eugene.
Welcome, Eugene. How are you, sir?
Eugene.
Hey guys, can you hear me?
We can.
Yeah.
Certainly can.
Okay, you guys hear me?
I can hear it.
We can see you
That's
and
good.
hear
That's
you.
good. Oh no, sorry for the delay. Right? Yeah, had a minor incident. Right? Had to change the tire. Right?
Yeah.
Not too upset about it. At least I can still change a tire at my age, at 57 years old. Right? I want to ask all our Spurs players. Right? Any of them can fucking change a tire. Right?
You should have got Kev
At
to
their
do it.
age.
He's
Right?
good at that.
I don't
Look at his
understand.
head.
Exactly.
No, the thing is that coming to what happened yesterday, right? I know we did the watch along. I was with Guy and all that, right? My first thing was WTF moment was what the hell is he doing with 3 at the back, right? And the thing is that we are where we are. I don't know. Being a Spurs fan at the moment, all I can say is that it looks like the owners ain't gonna listen to the fans and they're gonna stick with Frank, right? Unless someone burns down the stadium, and then they might take some action. Right, I don't know. Maybe Guy will do it.
Oh, mate, I'm not going to listen for this.
I know, but
I'm not in my 20s anymore. I'm not in my 20s anymore. I'm a teenager where I can go around like being a lad. I'm a respectable person now.
No. Nah, but to tell you the truth, I said this, right? I've been saying this for some time. To tell the truth, right? We've been able to see the football has improved in the past few games, but the problem is that I think it's a little bit too late now, right? And whenever we have this a bit of negativity, it amplifies a lot, So and even Stel was in the stadium yesterday. He was saying what, right? They were already singing, Frank, your football is shit. Right,
Yep.
and all the songs against him, there's negative songs, and somehow or another, right, he's still able to take it. That's one thing I'll give kudos to him. But the problem is that a lot of things that he sees that we don't see, I don't understand why he's saying it. The thing is that the only thing we couldn't understand is that it's Burnley, and you played this 3 at the back thing, right? Is it you're trying to experiment again to see whether he can use this tactic against, the next 4 games coming up against the big boys, right? And the challenge is there. So, all I can say at the moment now, for that game, it was a disappointment because to tell the truth, right, we should have beaten them, right? But it was shit, and how could we be, how is it? But before he came in, he was supposed to be this good coach, blah, blah, blah. He was supposed to bring our defense to a different level, give them a bit more sense of, solidarity, more focus and blah, blah. The 2 goals that we conceded, right? It's like 5 defenders at the back, right? Just switched off again. Kwanzebe just ran through, right? To get the ball. And to tell the truth, kudos to Kyle Walker, right? He still can cross the ball. Right. And when second half, right, I still want him to explain to me why did he take Pedro Porro off? Right? Why did he take Pedro Porro off? He should have taken off Danso, right? Put Spence on the left with Udogi, which that was a good partnership during the Dortmund game, and still keep Pedro Porro there. Unless Porro is injured or he's burnt out or whatever. Right, and guys, don't forget, right? I think Romero is, acting up again. Right, he had to be, sub in the last few minutes of the game. Right, I don't know whether that was a muscle problem or he was just too tired. Right, then let's see what happens there. Are we going to lose Romero now? Right, for the next.
It's mental. Yeah, it's the last few minutes of the game. Romero goes off and he puts a fucking centre back on. Put a fucking forward on. We've got to go and try and win this game.
I know. Yeah. It's crazy.
He doesn't have any. No, but yes, he doesn't have anyone else. Remember, he's really put on Dane Scarlett at that point. You get what I'm saying? Who else is going to put on?
Luca
Right?
Williams Barnett. I know that's too
No,
much.
but like I said, the changes he did. No, big up, Eva, big up. I know, but all I can say is that he's been confusing me from day one. Right? Maybe apart from the first 2 games, right, we weren't that confused because we were giving him a bit of chance. He was still, tinkering with the lineups. He's not sure what kind of players he has and all that. He did well, right? We beat Burnley in the first game. Then we had Man City, right? We beat Man City too, right? At that point, right, somehow or another, he doesn't build on the good things. You understand? Whenever we do something good, right, he dismantles it for whatever reason. I don't know whether it's a mental thing, right? Is it he's mentally inefficient, right? Or he's trying to mentally screw us? You get what I'm saying? Because I'm always confused with his lineups. I'm always confused with his substitutions, right? So,
Oh yeah, definitely.
I don't know, Thomas Frank, right? To tell the truth, I don't care. Honestly, I don't care. Apart from when after he held that Arsenal Cup, right? I had to say I had to say Frank out because he looks like a gooner. You get what I'm saying? Right?
Yeah.
So and now is that to tell the truth, right? The focus still has to be Enoch, but I've been saying this, right? Under Daniel Levy's tenure, right? Every time when the fan base goes into meltdown and wants a manager out, he's always obliged it, right? And we've been in this cycle over and over again. I'm not franking, to tell the truth, right? I'm not franking, right? I don't even see him taking us to the next level or winning us the Premier League because I won the Premier League, right? And all the Champions League. And to tell the truth, right? I would love an FA Cup, right? We haven't won that piece of silverware in 35 years. The last one we won was 1991, bro. Right? I would love an FA Cup too, right? Along the way. But I really want that Premier League and of course the Champions League, right? We were so close a couple of times, right, with Poch. But whether we will reach that level again, I'm not sure, right? With Frank, I don't think he'll bring us there. The only thing is that I can say is that the only positive thing I can say is that at the moment now, right, the owners are not listening to the fans, right? If we have done this earlier, why can't we just have listened to Mourinho? Why can't we just listen to Conte, right? But why are they listening to Frank now? Why are they giving this chance to Frank? Why can't we give this chance to a elite manager, a A-class manager, a proper manager, right? So that's what I'm going to say.
Do you think that's because Levy's left?
Yeah,
Because Levy didn't
I
want to
guess
listen, and maybe these guys
if we do stick with Frank,
the wrong person.
yeah, that's why.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yes, that's the thing, right? Right. First of all, right, Levy shouldn't have sacked Ange. You understand? Because the fan base went against Ange. He should have sacked Ange. He should have kept Ange there, right? But because what
I don't think
Levy wants to do is he wants to divide us. You understand? He always wants to divide us to have what call right. So now the problem is that we brought in Frank, right, and the football ain't there. We see it, right? The football ain't there. The levels ain't there, right? There is no progression in our system, and half the time we as fans, right, bro, we are not paid £8 million a year, right, to manage these players. He is, and we are questioning his style, his tactics, his substitutions, his lineups. You know what I'm saying? Even we can see it, right? Why can't we put up a performance against Dortmund, right, and come back? Oh, yeah, I know Johnny would do it, right? A lot of us will do it, right? To tell the truth, right? I'll do it for, let's say, I'm very cheap. If you count in Malaysian ringgit with the pound and the conversion, right? I'll do it for about 25, 30 grand a year.
Yeah, isn't he he's the top? He's
I
in the
know.
top
No, but the
three
thing is,
highest
we
paid
come back to
managers in the Prem,
the
isn't
point.
he?
Yes, we do know our
the fourth highest earner. Mad, isn't it?
yeah, he is at the moment. Yeah.
He's just not a winner.
That's why
He's
they
in the
talk
top
not a
5, if I'm
winner.
not mistaken. Yeah.
He's
And the worst part is, right, his salary is double Ange. Ange at 4, if I'm not mistaken.
Mad.
Mental. Now, to be honest, I wanted Ange
Yeah.
out as much
No,
as
only
a
thing
lot
is
of
that,
other
right,
people.
if I don't know,
And to be honest,
if Enix sticks with him,
the grass ain't always greener.
no, I know. But the thing is that if he won us the trophy, right, I would have given it. No, I said, right, if he had won that trophy, right, if he had lost that trophy, right, the whole fan base would have been united with Ange out, correct?
Yeah.
But I think he won that trophy, and that brings in a divide again. Yes,
He
right?
deserved a month or two
But I
to
think when
start.
you said there was a divide, right, bro, there were 250,000 people. There were but there were 250,000. Yeah, he should have. No, we should have given him the start of the season because he built that. What I call it's that human. We are still all human, bro. You know what I'm saying? You bring a group of boys, right, all the way to the final against all odds, right, while everyone was cursing at him. Remember, for the league performances, right, for the shit show that we've been doing in the league, and he brought us that trophy after 17 years. Imagine the feeling that group of players. Imagine, bro, if you guys are working with a manager or somebody and he leads you and he breaks this mega deal, right? And everyone feels so proud. And next thing the hierarchy comes and says, all right, guys, we're sacking him, right? We're bringing you a new guy. How would this group of guys feel? Yes, sir. Right? I can tell you, right? I think about 80% of our current squad, right, not including the new guys and all that, right, they feel betrayed. You can say, and that's the worst part. That's why this is the type of performances, right, being put out there by these players because their heart is broken. That's all I'm gonna say, right? And it's the weird thing is that that's why we don't see the performance. You can see performances like Dortmund, okay, defending like Dortmund, right? Of course, Dortmund were 10 men and all that, right? But apart from that, the swings are too high. We're not swinging, right, along the gradient, right? We're swinging up high, roller coaster, down, low, right? And all I can say. And the worst part is now, what can I say is, right? We got the Frankfurt game coming out. And this Frankfurt game, right? You ask, Guy, it gives me deja vu PTSD. You know why? Last season, Frankfurt was the quarterfinals, right? If I'm not mistaken, right? We drew 1-1 with them at home, right? And the whole fan base was saying what? We're going to get smacked by Frankfurt away. Me and Guy were doing at the time, we haven't even started doing the totally deluded shows yet, right? The watch-alongs. Because after that Frankfurt game, we became totally deluded, right? We said, oh my God, we can actually see him doing it. You know what I'm saying? Changing his tactics, going to the style that he wants that cup. You guys are. So now we've come back now, right? Are we going to be totally deluded, right? If we get into the quarterfinals of the Champions League, because we go in the last 16, then the quarterfinals, if I'm not mistaken, go in the quarterfinals of the Champions League, right? And we do get into the semi-finals again, right? But I don't know, mate. Oh, are we going to be 17 and win the Champions League this season? That's my question.
Yeah.
I don't even think we'll be 17.
My gosh, right. And if we do that, right, then I'll be Frank in.
I don't even think we're going to be 17 for the league, man.
Right,
Would you take 18th in Champions League?
Are you afraid we get relegated? That's all.
I think it's a possibility, mate. I do think it's a possibility.
Do you see us? I'll take it.
Okay.
I'll take it. You ask Guy. The whole of last. I said it the whole last season, right? I said it the whole last season, Guy. Remember? I'll take relegation and a trophy, right?
Yeah, you did.
And I'm going to say this season too. I'll take relegation and that trophy. If we are going to guarantee win the Champions League, let's get relegated, guys. Woohoo!
Yeah. Here's the thing, right? If we get relegated, away games are going to be great for me. Millwall's
I'm
just
consistent, man. I don't flip flop, right? Take it, guys. Champions League trophy and relegation.
Kev, can you see any? You were still around when we got relegated last time. Can
I
you
was
see
going to
any
exactly ask that.
QPR?
to this team to that team?
No, guys.
It was bad.
Then it'll be the big showdown.
It was good.
No,
There was no internet in those days.
yeah.
That's the biggest problem.
The last time we got relegated, what? 76?
Yeah. 27.
Kev?
And do you see
Yeah.
any similarities? I think was the question.
Kev, I'm sure you have a good. Yeah, you have good memories of the relegation
We've been
times,
playing
right?
bad.
Yeah.
We've been playing bad, and but it was laughably bad.
I know.
We could just laugh at it every week.
76, 77.
Am I breaking up? Or is he breaking
Well,
up?
all right, guys.
Right.
Okay, mate.
Right. I
See you later, mate.
But Kev, who was the manager then?
Terry Neal.
Birkinshaw.
Birkinshaw.
Yeah, Terry Neal was the catalyst for the disaster,
Nah.
and he walked away.
All right, guys, I gotta make a move, right?
We had a seat
Catch you later.
of going down.
Continue the show. Have a good show. Right.
Yeah.
Birkinshaw was the manager. Oh dear.
Yeah. Right, are you going or are you staying?
He's on a delay.
Oh, he brought us back up.
Take care, mate.
Yeah.
There was a terrible lag there, wasn't there? You could see him talking
I couldn't keep up
on
with
the
it.
screen, and then 15 seconds later, his voice
Alan
came
Partridge skit, wasn't it? Where he's talking to that woman and she's like 5 seconds behind him.
It seems to me we are sleepwalking into this relegation thing. Though. You know, it's there. If West Ham beat Chelsea next week and we lose at home to City, it's game on for relegation. And they'll crumble. The transfer window shutting this week as well, don't forget. So we might get Robertson, you know. So I can't see any big buys, but they're going to go for the bargain basements, aren't they, as usual? Foreigners that just take too long to adapt to the game, and I don't know. We've got enough good players in the.
Wouldn't surprise me if Tell went out on loan and they sent back Kole Moani as well. So we're going to need a hell of a week in the transfer market, aren't we?
Yeah. Mad.
Do you think that they're arrogant enough that they believe that they'll stay up because they're good enough, even though they're performing like absolute toilet?
Yep.
It's dangerous.
Really? Yeah.
It's a dangerous thing to do.
Yeah. Big up, Rodney Martin. Nice to see you, mate. Please like, subscribe, all of the channels. RickyVillaTV still only has 82 subscribers. Which is unbelievable. I mean, John's got, 1,000 and something, and Eugene's coming up to 1,000, but we've only got 82. So tell a friend, tell your enemies, tell whoever.
You could pause. I'll tell you what. You could do something that someone else does in the space and just buy them.
Oh, really? Oh, okay. I'm not going into that. And yeah, if I was that rich.
I don't want guilders.
Right, we're coming up to an hour and a half. Have we spoken about Andy Robertson? We have, haven't we?
A little bit.
Briefly.
I got you now, Guy. I got you now.
Briefly.
Yeah. So let's talk about Frankfurt. Do you think he'll go back to the 4-2-3-1?
Because he's out of the squad.
Tell me.
Oh shit! Yeah, sorry.
Never know.
Apologies. I always get this wrong, don't I? Fuck you know.
No one saw that anyway, mate. Just quickly replace it.
Yeah, it's fine, man. No one noticed. It's all right. It's all right.
It's not like we talked about it, really.
So apparently they play a 4-4-2.
4-4 back into, ran around a bit.
Exactly. I didn't realise
jumpers for goalposts, lads. Jumpers for goalposts.
But I didn't realise that their nickname's the Eagles. But yeah, they're 33rd in the Champions League table. I've never heard of their manager, Dino Topmuller. The danger man is Doan, who apparently is a winger, and Götze, who as far as I'm aware, has been injured for most of his career, isn't he? Was going to be a great player, but unfortunately didn't really get there, or fortunately maybe. The last meeting was 1-0 Spurs, Solanke penalty. I seem to remember we pretty much bossed most of that game. That was when they had Ekitike up front, wasn't it?
I'm looking forward to their song. And number 1 is click to edit. And number 2 is click to edit. And number 3 is click to edit. We're a team of click to edits. Oh, wait. Are you still there? Who can you bomb him off for? I don't think Gallagher can play either, Jens, because he's...
Gallagher's not in. It's not registered yet.
Well, just go with this one then.
Yeah, swiftly moving on.
Apart from that, Jens, spot on, mate. I'm with you.
Yeah. Great lineup, bro.
Right. Well, yeah.
I think Papsar will play Jens instead of Gallagher.
Yeah, Papsar will play.
So who's going to play up front?
On the right there, probably Beada Bear. Who can we play on the left? Kala Moani probably have to come back in money.
Oh shit! Yeah.
To be honest, this whole season about predicting the lineups, I'm not going to lie, I've not got any of them any close to right. I've not been able, so I've given up. I'm giving up. Frank, put whatever you want on the pitch, mate. Let's just see what the shit show shows.
He said he only had 11 fit players last week, so we've got 12 now of Papsar back. Well, no. I think Romero broke his foot kicking the hoardings yesterday, didn't he? So it wouldn't surprise me if Romero's out.
Idiot.
Oh, yeah, Romero's out for the rest of the season, man. Come on. It's Spurs.
He's broken his foot there. If he's broken his foot, he will be when he lasts 2 or 3 months for sure.
So that means that we probably won't be getting rid of Dragoos in this January. And it'll be Van der Ven and Danso, and then Dragoos as the backup.
Yeah.
Right, well, that's fucking.
You think it'd be Porro? Doggy won't get risked again. It'll be Porro and Spence on the left. Can he go for it at the back with Dragoshin? Can he risk getting one of them injured as well?
Yeah, that's a good question.
And then he's got Papsar. He's got Paulina. Nearly again coming around, so maybe he might get a start. But I don't think Basuma's in the squad either, is he? So he can't put Basuma in. If Basuma's not in the squad, Gallagher's not in the squad, and Tell's not in the squad. Oh dear.
Tell's not in the squad, yeah. So this manager seems to have his shit organised, doesn't he?
Well, to be honest, a lot of it's his own damn fault. I'm sorry, I'm not talking about the injuries. I'm talking about it's this. I keep saying this, right? So I never bring up injuries, and you've been a coach, and I'm doing some coaching exams, and I'll let you know how that goes, Lindsay. But here's the thing, right? The reason why I don't talk about injuries is down to the coach and the manager to mitigate these injuries and deal with them. He has not.
Yeah, that's true.
Sending off loanies and everywhere.
That's exactly how I feel like when we're playing.
Sorry. Yeah, no. I am
late
tired of all of it.
He hasn't got a lot right, has he, to be fair?
I was watching the Dan Lists short earlier. God knows what time he got up.
Big up Dan.
He was out walking the dog, and it was still pitch black. And he was like, a lot of us who go to work all week or do whatever all week, but we look forward to football on a Saturday as a kind of release.
Yeah.
And I replied to him and I said, to be honest, I'd prefer to go to work now rather than watch fucking football on a Saturday.
He's the guy that Dan's the kind of friend of mine, right? So I told him how much I'd spent on Spurs on tickets and merch this season. And he was the guy that convinced me. He was like, are you going to go to the FA Cup? I was like, after speaking to you, I'm going to go to the FA Cup because I love the magic of the FA Cup. I love FA Cup games, but I'm done. I'm not spending no more money on this club, man. No way. No way.
Well, that is something that I think a lot of us did. I know myself and John, I think a season or two before me, gave up his season ticket, doesn't buy anything from the club. When he was going, he never used to buy any drink or food or anything. And I gave up my season ticket. I cancelled my daughter's membership. If I do buy a Spurs shirt, I get it from Sports Direct. I don't know if any of the money's still, I don't even know if they're real. But
that's why you need the sponsor. That's why you need that OK Jersey sponsor, mate. The OK Jersey sponsor. Replica shirt.
How do they get away with that? Because they're selling like official shirts. For like
replica. They could get away with it by saying replica.
Wow. I went on there to get the 1988 England top. About the only one I didn't have on there. You remember that one, Jens? We had the old Umbro sort of in the background and your little clip.
Yes,
thing. I remember that.
Yeah. But I mean, I was actually considering getting a membership when Levy left.
No, I don't, mate.
But I'm not
if you're going to get it in January. In January, it's only 25 quid. In January, it's only 25 quid. But only get it in January, mate, because it's not worth it. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. And it's sad because you know this. I'm a match going fan. I love going to the matches. I have friends there. And honestly, when I went to the Villa game, I was talking to my mates and I met new people and I met some people on YouTube and stuff and all that. And I just said, no, I'm not coming anymore. And they went, you're not coming anymore. But you went last season for most. Yeah, I had a season ticket then, mate. I wasn't paying all this bullshit. And it's just, it's sad. Honest, I'm being honest here. There's points where I'm watching the game where I'm like, oh, I really want to go. But then I'm thinking, what's the point? What's the point? Like, even if with the reduced tickets, right? So this is how much it costs, right? So you've got your £10 travel card there and back. You got, if it's reduced, the 30 quid seat in the north or south stand. And I told you about the kids booing and swearing, which was hilarious because I always get told off for swearing in the touchlines. And then you've got the food and drink, which 3 pints will set you back 40 quid. A meal is 15 quid. And then, you know, all of that on top. I mean, it is a lot of money on a day out. You're looking at about 200, 300 quid if you want to live life. You know, and it's not worth it. They're just the levels of football that we're just displaying. Like I say, Tom, I don't know if you know this, but at the Villa game, I switched my seat from the south stand because I knew it was going to get really toxic. And I went to the north stand in the family area. All the kids were booing. The kids were screaming. The kids were singing, you're getting sacked in the morning. If the kids are doing this and the kids hate it, what's the point, you know?
There must be break clauses in his contract where they can sack him for something cheaper coming up at the end of January or something. That's the only thing you can think of because they're not stupid. Like you said, they see the metrics of the falling ticket prices and the beer sales and all that, and it doesn't look good. And they're there watching the games and they know what kind crap it is as well. So on the pitch, so they must know that it's a change that needs to be made, but there must be some kind of break at the end of January where they can get away with not paying him as much money.
Yeah, and Frank is a massive gaslighter. I've stopped watching his presses because I'm sick of being like Dan brought. Yeah, I was talking to Dan about this, and he watches the presses and he gets really pissed off with it. And I'm like, bro, I don't even watch him, man, because I know every time I'm going to watch it, he's going to piss me off. So I'm like, no, I don't want to listen to your dribble, man. I don't want to listen to him.
I deliberately turn him off most of the time, guys. It's only when it's in the background if I'm listening to Last Word on Spurs or Chris Cowden after a game and they tend to play the whole damn thing and I can't be bothered to get off my arse to go and turn it off. So I hear his crap third party from them and then...
Yeah. Why would anyone want to watch? Don't get me wrong. People do it for the content and it's their job, right? It's not my job. I'm not a content creator. So I can just be like, I'm not wasting 30 minutes of my life where, no offense, I could rather have a wank or a blowjob than listen to the shit that he comes out with. You know what I mean?
Yeah. If you're a betting man, as I did hear it during the Last Word on Spurs, can you guess what his summary was of yesterday's game? Jens, what do you reckon he said?
We played well.
Yeah,
played well. We should have won the game.
Their manager was their keeper was man of the match. We played well. On another day, we'd have won quite easily. That was his.
And it's positive.
Yeah,
positive. Yeah, no, it's not.
He's becoming. Right, yeah, go on. I was just about to say he's becoming the stereotypical toxic, optimistic fan.
Yes. Come out with the
So,
bright
guys,
side
I'm
of
going
it.
to wrap this up. One last thing, a yes or no answer. In your opinion, are we getting relegated this season? John? Jesus Christ, when John's got to think about it, I'm starting to fucking worry.
Well, the only thing that's making me think about it is, I say, Jason on Last Word on Spurs said he thinks we'll get 3 wins out of the remaining games. But as someone countered that, we've only had 3 wins in our last 12 anyway. So where are we getting 3 from 14 from out, especially with these next 4 games? Then it'll be 3 out of 10. Where are we getting 3 wins out of 10 from?
Yeah.
It's a worry if they don't wake up and smell the roses and make a change.
Yeah.
So yes or no? That wasn't a yes or no, was it?
No.
Yes. There we go.
Wow.
Because I think they're sleepwalking into it. Yes, and other clubs have acted already, haven't they?
Bloody hell.
But it's maybe the best thing that could happen to us, to be fair. Or people always say if we get relegated, it means the value of the club will go down. Someone could buy it. But if the value of the club goes down, then ENIC won't want to sell it, will they? So which is chicken and egg.
Yeah.
Yeah. With Frank, yes. There's the caveat. With Frank, yes.
Guy.
With Frank, yeah, 100%. And like I say, I've argued. You know this. I'm quite a debater, and I look at everything as a holistic project. And I'm just seeing this, and I'm seeing nothing more than in the Prem. Let's forget Europe. In the Prem, it's a downward trajectory, and it's going to continue downward. And I know the supercomputer Opta says there's only a 1% chance that we get relegated. Yeah, but it's a computer. I work in AI, Tom, so I know how these things work, right? And I'm telling you now, there's more than a 1% chance that we're going to get relegated. And with Frank, we will get relegated. I think we will. It's not a fact. I'm not saying it's a fact, but in my opinion, at this stage, from what I've seen, it's a hard yes, man.
Yeah. Okay. Kev.
My head says yes. My heart says no because I don't want it to happen. But it's looking that way. I don't know where the points coming from every week for the rest of the season. He's just going to sit back and try and get draw after draw, you know. And
it's not good enough now.
Sad to say.
That's the problem.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
Yeah.
When you, this is what no offense, that's what the filth fucked up last time with their stuff. Too many draws. If you keep drawing every game, you're going to go down.
Yeah. See the other, what's it? That's an interesting stat popped up somewhere recently and said when Arsenal won the league in '98, I think it was, we finished just above relegation, and we escaped by 4 points.
That was 6-2, wasn't it? Klinsmann against Wimbledon.
Yeah,
Klinsmann with 4.
You know, that's what we're up against.
Denmark at the time. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, I don't look at any Arsenal quotes anymore. I just switch them all off because they're just laughing their socks off, you know, and that's a shame, you know. We are where we are, you know. He ain't going to do nothing about it. He's just going to go for a draw every week, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm actually going to break the mould. I don't think we will. I think we'll scrape it. I think we'll stay up.
Still be a shame one way or the other. They won't.
Don't ask me where I'm getting that confidence from.
It's a Danish thing, isn't it? It's a Danish thing.
Remember,
deluded Dane. Two deluded Danes.
Yeah. But here's the thing. Remember,
the Danes are very pessimistic. They're not usually that optimistic, but
we brought Frank in specifically to get higher in the league, right? Yeah. That was his one and only job. That's why, right? I mean, that's why we got him.
When we asked him to get higher than 17th, we didn't mean 16th, did we?
No, exactly.
Does he keep his job if we stay up?
No, I'm not sure he's going to keep his job past the next couple of weeks, to be honest. I think they will panic, and I think they will let him go, and I think they'll try and get someone in who is going to motivate the players.
Someone with charisma. That's what you want. Someone with charisma, a bit of a winning mentality, anything like that.
And not someone who looks like he's been out at Moondance the whole night and still coming down off the 15 ecstasy tablets that he took. So, anyway. Okay, well, guys, thank you everybody for watching. Brian Maguire, 2 marks, Ava, Rodney, obviously Guy as well for coming on, and Kev and John. It's been an absolute pleasure. Everybody, please, as I said before, like and subscribe, especially to RickyVillaTV, because I'd love to reach 90 by 2027.
Wait, am I stopped?
So have a wonderful Sunday. Come on, you Spurs, and quite frankly, Frank and Enoch, get the fuck out.
Get out of my car.
Get out of it.